The existence of the Yeti has long been a topic of fascination for people. The burnish industry has conducted extensive research on the subject and has even managed to capture a small Yeti for their notorious experiments. However, one day, the Yeti manages to escape its cell and begins to search for a way out of the building. During its escape attempt, the Yeti encounters Zara, who tries to calm it down before alerting the authorities. Unfortunately, the sound of the emergency alarm causes the Yeti to panic, and it starts running towards the exit, with Zara and a mercenary captain in pursuit. As the Yeti approaches an electrified barrier, it seems like there is no way out. However, the creature starts humming, and to everyone's surprise, all the electrical objects in the area deactivate, giving it a chance to escape. After escaping the electrified barrier, the Yeti continues running until it collides with a passing truck, causing it to slow down. Though he is hurt, it quickly regains its footing and manages to climb onto a builder's ladder, using it to reach a nearby terrace where it can hide. From its hiding spot, the Yeti notices a portrait of Mount Everest and seems to be drawn to it in some way. As the day begins, Yi prepares to leave her home, where she lives with her mother and Nai Nai. Yi leaves her home and is seen running with a bunch of dogs first, then babysitting a kid, and her day ends with removing garbage from restaurants. She is stinking on her way home, and she encounters Peng, who invites her to play basketball with him. However, Yi declines. As they climb the stairs, Yi and Peng run into Jin, Peng's cousin, who is known for his unusually active social life. Yi has lost her father long too, and because of that, she has never been able to recover fully. One night when she was playing violin, a helicopter from Burnish Industries appears out of nowhere, creating a strong gust of wind that throws Yi off balance and sends her flying. In the chaos, her violin falls to the ground, landing in a different corner of the terrace. As Yi attempts to retrieve her violin, she notices a large paw behind a curtain, causing her to freeze in fear. She quickly hides behind a nearby wooden container. After gathering her courage, Yi reaches for her violin, unintentionally making a noise that awakens the Yeti. The Yeti roars and lunges at Yi, but the sound of the helicopter's return startles the creature, causing it to retreat behind a nearby structure. Yi sees the frightened Yeti and realizes that it needs help. She gathers materials and constructs a makeshift tent to hide the Yeti from view. As the chopper leaves, Yi sits against the opposite wall, holding her bow. The next morning, she notices that the Yeti's hand is hurt. Using the money she has saved, she runs to a nearby pharmacy to buy some ointment. On her way back, she notices the mercenary captain and Zara talking to the truck driver, who was hit by the Yeti the night before. She hides and listens to their discussion before running to her home. She picks up the dumplings her Nai Nai has prepared and rushes to the terrace. The Yeti eats all the dumplings in one gulp, while Yi bandages the Yeti's hand. Finding comfort, the Yeti falls asleep quickly. Yi decorates the area and opens her tent. As she plays the violin in the evening, the Yeti starts humming, causing a dead plant to blossom behind her, which surprises Yi. Soon, she notices the Yeti gesturing toward the portrait of Mount Everest, and she realizes that it must be the creature's homeland. She names it Everest, and becomes curious, and starts browsing her phone to learn more about these mysterious beings. At Burnish Industries, Mr. Burnish is very upset with the fact that Yeti is missing. He had planned to show it in an event. Zara assures him that she will locate and safely return the Yeti. As Everest explores the tent, he spots a pinned map on the wall and discovers a photograph of Yi with her father inside her violin case. Growing hungry, the creature searches for food and pulls out the air conditioning unit from the wall, catching the attention of Nai Nai and Peng. Peng rushes to call Jin while Yi arrives at the terrace and stops Everest from eating the AC unit. Eventually, Jin and Peng arrive, and Jin contacts the police. Zara, who is searching for the creature, is alerted by the phone call, and a helicopter is dispatched to their location. The strong gust of wind from the chopper causes chaos, but Everest quickly picks up Yi and carries her away through the buildings. Jin and Peng follow them through the road, while the helicopter continues to track them from above. However, they become trapped on the rooftop of a building. Zara spots Yi with Everest, but suddenly, a light show begins, allowing them to escape. Amidst the chaos, Yi notices a boat leaving the city and urges Everest to escape with her on it, not stopping until they reach the mountains. The creature jumps onto the moving boat as Yi tries to signal it to hide, but its size makes it impossible. Seeing this, Yi jumps onto the boat with Everest. Peng sees their escape and follows them, but as he leaps, Everest catches him, saving him from falling into the water. Seeing this, Jin reluctantly joins them on the boat to protect Peng. Meanwhile, Mr. Burnish is growing increasingly concerned about his inability to locate Everest, and he orders his team to capture it at any cost, dead or alive. This directive deeply troubles Zara, who insists that she will only work with Burnish if Everest is captured alive and unharmed. Upon reaching the shore, they discover a crate of soda and sneak into it to hide. The crate is subsequently loaded onto a truck. However, due to Pang and Everest's hyperactivity from the soda, they roll around and accidentally cause the crate to fall off the truck. As they fall from the truck, Everest senses that the group is hungry and begins humming. To their surprise, a cluster of blueberries starts growing in response to his tune. However, the blueberries grow to a massive size and start popping up itself. Soon it starts flying, and eventually hitting the group as they try to escape. As night falls, Yi notices that Everest and Pang like each other's company, and she concludes that it is because Everest is still a kid who is missing his family. She demonstrates this using a few stones. However, Jin comments on her relationship with her mother and Nai Nai, especially after her father's death. His comments upsets her a lot. The argument is interrupted by the loud snoring of both Everest and Peng, and they all get to sleep. Jin wakes up to the sound of Yi playing the violin the next morning. He tells them that he and Peng will return from Day Village. Yi responds that they can go ahead, but she will take Everest back to his home. Burnish, Zara, the captain, and the other mercenaries finally arrive at the island and investigate the local people. Soon, they find a trail of soda cans and they follow it, hoping to find a lead on Everest's whereabouts. As Yi and the group continue their journey, Burnish's drones spot them, and they become aware that they are being hunted. Everest uses his humming ability once again, and this time it grows a dandelion that floats them away. However, Jin couldn't catch it and asks them to meet at the village. Zara and the team catches Jin. Zara sheds fake worry and claims that the Yeti is crucial to her research. Then Jin discloses that they plan to meet at Dehi village. Meanwhile, Yi, Peng, and Everest touch down in a desert along with their dandelion where they encounter a family of turtles. The trio leave the turtles with plenty of food before continuing their journey. At camp, Burnish shares with Jin how he managed to track down Everest. As night falls, Zara urges Burnish to rest as they have to start early the next day. Meanwhile, Yi starts to feel responsible for the situation they are in. Everest playfully pats her head to comfort her. Jin, unable to sleep, comes out of his tent. As he walks around, he overhears Zara telling the captain that she has no interest in capturing the Yeti alive and would rather sell it for profit, even if it means risking the lives of the children. She expresses frustration with the rat that always stays with her and throws it off when the captain passes the car keys to it. The rat falls in front of Jin, who takes the car keys and leaves the rat with Burnish, who is sleeping. Then he checks the keys and finds that one of the keys is of a motorbike, but he cannot use it as it falls off the edge, leaving him behind. He starts running through the jungle. Eventually, a vendor offers him a boat in exchange for his phone. Yi, Peng, and Everest manage to board a train to the village to reunite with Jin, but Burnish and his team catch up with them. To hide Everest, Yi comes up with a plan to disguise him as a yak among other yaks, but the captain spots him. Peng causes a diversion by making the yaks stampede, buying them some time. Just in time, Jin arrives and helps Yi get on a boat with Everest in tow. However, the captain and his team are not far behind and turn their vehicle into a watercraft to pursue them. Yi requests Everest to use his powers, and as he starts humming, the boat starts sailing faster. However, they crash into a field of flowers. Everest's hums cause a tidal wave to rise from the flowers, pushing them forward. Burnish's team is left in awe of Everest's power, while Yi and the gang are thrown away by the tides and they land safely. But soon they notice that Yi's violin is broken, and it makes her upset. She runs away from there. Jin follows her and checks if she is all right. Yi opens up to him about her father's death. She also reveals about the distance she feels from her mother and Nai Nai. Further, she confesses that she hasn't cried yet over her dad's death. Jin empathizes with her and shares his concern that if Burnish and his team catch Everest, it could be dangerous for them all. Meanwhile, Zara convinces Burnish to bring in more reinforcements, as they only have one chance to capture Everest before it disappears into the Himalayas. As Yi and Jin rejoin Everest and Peng near the shore, they find out that the two had fixed Yi's violin with Everest's hair as strings. When she sees her new violin, she becomes very happy and tells us that it is better than it was before. Peng gathers all of the travel pictures Yi had kept with her and informs her that all of the places they had visited during their journey were the ones on her list, except for one. She realizes that Everest has done everything for her, which is unexpected for her. but she is very grateful for it. Everest indicates that they are now standing in front of the same place remaining on the list, the Sichuan Buddha statue. After a long journey, the group finally reaches a bridge that leads to Everest's home. Everest excitedly starts running towards it, but as they reach the middle of the bridge, 2 helicopters suddenly appear on the opposite side. The group tries to run backwards, but they are blocked by another group of mercenaries. Everest quickly realizes the danger and plans to save the kids. He runs and reaches on the top of a pole of the bridge and starts humming. Burnish witnesses this and is reminded of his past encounter with Yetis, where he saw a mother Yeti protecting her children, making him realize that Yetis are kind creatures. Burnish orders Zara to bring Everest safely, but she had other plans. She, along with the captain, tranquilizes Burnish. Then they target and shoot Everest. As a result, he lost his senses and fell down. The mercs imprison Yeti while Zara tries to attack Everest with a stun gun. However, Yi comes in between and tries to stop Zara, but Zara pushes her off the bridge. Peng and Jin are also kept prisoners in cages on Everest. Eventually, they leave the bridge. Yi had not fallen. She was holding a rope that was hanging from the bridge. She gets back up to the bridge and grabs her violin. She plays it and uses its magic that revives Everest. He wakes up and stops the mercenaries with his power. Yi rushes towards them, and he frees her friends along with Burnish. Everest creates large icicles using his powers that scare Zara and her team. However, Zara hasn't given up yet, and she rams her van into Everest. But it hits the mountain, and they fall from there. Fortunately, Everest is not harmed. Burnish acknowledges that Everest is an amazing creature and that the world must never know he exists. Everest uses his magic and creates flying clouds which guides everyone to the mountain. As they arrive, they discover a community of huge Yetis who are Everest's family. Overjoyed, Everest embraces them, and his parents show gratefulness toward the kids. With heavy hearts, they bid farewell to each other. As Burnish stated early, he dropped the kids home. Yi rushes to her home and hugs her mother and Nai Nai, overwhelmed with emotion. At night, they all sit down for a family dinner with Jin and Peng joining in. Peng surprises everyone by bringing a box left by Burnish, filled with equipment for their next adventure. As they enjoy Nai Nai's famous pork buns, Peng boasts about his love for them, but Yi reminds him that someone else loved them just as much. As the family savors their meal, they can hear Everest's humming in the background, a reminder of their incredible journey together.